The 2022 Miss Food City Pageant is coming up on November 6th at the Emory Henry College, but the deadline for entry to be a contestant is just 3 days away. And this morning, Lisa Johnson with Food City is here to share with us more about this exciting event that will see one contestant win the coveted Miss Food City crown and $4,000 in cash and prizes. More than enough incentive to get on board if you're even thinking about being a contestant.
Absolutely. You know, we actually took the prize money up an extra $1,000 this year. You know, we have got several contestants already. We'll only take 20. The deadline for entry is on Thursday, and you know, our Miss Food Cities absolutely have opportunities of a lifetime.
Yes.
You know, they get a chance to be part of our racing events, which is huge. They also get to be a part of our grand openings and other special events. And you know, we try to include them in the majority of things that we do, you know, of course, based on what their schedule will allow.
And you were mentioning store openings, because that's traveling right there, because y'all are opening so many stores all the way from Virginia all the way to Alabama now. So.
Absolutely. This has been a big year for us. You know, we opened up a store in Winchester. We opened up one in Radford, Wytheville, you know, Albertville, Alabama.
Right.
So, you know, I'm excited to think about what the future holds for us next year.
And if someone is interested in applying and being a contestant for the pageant, how do they go about that?
It's very simple. They just go to foodcity.com and the banner ad says Food City, Miss Food City, and you just click apply and you just register there. It's so easy. You can fill out your application online, upload your photo, and then you can also pay by PayPal. So it's very convenient. And
plenty of scholarship money there. If you're going to be a student, that's a great way to get started on your college education as well.
It really is. We have been very grateful to Rave, because every year they provide a $1,200 scholarship for us. And of course, you know, pair that with the $3,000 cash that we are going to be awarding. You know, it's $4,200, so that's a nice little chunk of change for college students.
And I have been a judge for the Miss Food City Pageant. It is a great evening of entertainment as well. I mean, it is a great event to come out and just enjoy watching as well.
It is. The actual pageant's going to be on November 6th at the McLaughlin Center at Emory and Henry, and it is. You know, we have great entertainment. We have door prizes. You know, we have, you know, a lot of beautiful contestants that are on the stage doing the sportswear competition, the evening wear competition. You know, we have a professional wear competition, or, you know, so, and then finally the onstage question for the 5 finalists. But I have to say, Chris, the majority of the score for the Miss Food City pageant is made up from their official interview. So, you know, we will actually have a panel of judges, and they will go before the panel of judges and be asked some questions. And so, you know, we want to make sure that, you know, we're getting a representative that can handle herself in a situation if all of a sudden a microphone is placed in front of her.
So it's a great opportunity to not only, it's a great opportunity overall, because like you said, get to make those personal appearances. The race appearances themselves is just fantastic. I mean, just every time you see something at Bristol Motor Speedway and Food City's involved, Miss Food City is there.
Miss Food City's there. And you know, she's always a big hit at events, as well as our Food City shopping cart. So
So we got to keep that in mind. Deadline 3 days away. Make sure you go to keep that in mind. And also got a lot going on at Food City. Right now we're in the midst of school bucks right now.
We are in the midst of school bucks. We have a lot of schools that have already signed up to participate. And basically all they have to do is to go into their database, update all their information, and click save at the bottom, and then that will trigger them active. And you know, anytime I get a chance to encourage parents or supporters to link their Food City value card to their school of choice, you know, I try to take that opportunity, because all of these schools desperately need funds. And you know, if maybe you don't have a child or a grandchild, you know, if you've got a Food City value card, pick a school, just link it to that school. If you don't have access to a computer, I mean, contact me and I'm happy to link that for you.
And you know, we hear those statistics all the time about teachers having to pay so many hundreds of dollars out of their own pockets for school supplies. This is Food City's way of helping that community of teachers as well.
It is, and I'm blessed to have the opportunity to talk to a lot of the teachers. You know, they call in and they, you know, they ask questions, and we get them signed up for school bucks. And you're exactly right. A lot of these teachers do spend a lot of money out of their own pockets. And you know, these schools, they need the extra support from the community. And I'm blessed to work for a company that gives back so much to the community, and this is just one way of being able to help our communities.
That's right. And we've got to keep in mind, too, our next big holiday coming up, Halloween. And Halloween at Food City is a one-stop shop for everything you need.
Oh my gosh, yes, yes. If you go into Food City right now and, you know, you go in the floral section, the produce section, you know, the candy, there's candy displays. So, you know, Food City is your one-stop shop for all of your Halloween needs. You know, I love Halloween. I love the pumpkins. I love the mums. I love the decorations, the corn, the bagged corn, the gourds. You know, we've got all of that at Food City, plus a lot of candy for these kids.
And those little Reese's pumpkins are tempting me every time I go in there.
That one gets me every time too.
All right, Lisa, thanks so much for stopping by today. We're going to get you ready for that Miss Food City pageant. We got the information for you right there. There's the poster for it right there. Remember, if you're wanting to be a contestant, you got 3 days to get your entry in. It is coming up on November 6th. It is the 2022 Miss Food City pageant.